Welcome to New Awakenings with Edgar, Cayce's A.R.E, where together through some fantastic conversations, we go on beautiful journeys of discovery that might shape the way you think about things and could even change your life.
Our guest today is very well known to A.R.E audiences across the world. She joined the team here at the A.R.E in 1968, and she's been a student of the Cayce material ever since then. She founded the A.R.E's Prison Outreach Program in 1972, and she served as, as the manager of the study group program for 20 years. She's overseen 4 outreach programs. Currently, she's the A.R.E's National Field Volunteers Coordinator, where she honors A.R.E members that she considers the arms and legs of the A.R.E.
She's also a published poet, a musician, and a regular contributor to Venture Inward magazine. And if that was not enough, she's a certified, I know I'm going to say this wrong, Lengar yoga instructor, and she will help me on that pronunciation soon, who teaches a very popular Yoga for Health class that focuses on Cayce health material, complete with weekly handouts so you know exactly what you're doing, and you're learning so much here at the AREM studio. And she has found the time in her very busy schedule to be with us here on New Awakenings. Welcome to the show, Judith Stevens.
I am so happy to be here because I want to share with everybody what we've done with our field volunteer restructuring.
Yeah, can't wait to dive into that. But first and foremost, you must be exhausted.
That's a lot.
Well, you know what? The yoga Iyengar practices and our studio work helps with that. Walks in the state park, meditation, and drinking lots of water.
Yeah, that's key.
Keeps me.
And that's where I fall short, woefully short, the water.
And the walks, and the no.
Thanks for calling me out, Karen.
It's hard when you're busy to try to make room or time for these, but once you do, it's so incredibly worth it.
And so important, actually. So it's something we do need to refocus on, so thanks for the reminder. Okay, let's launch into this thing because it's exciting. You have you're launching a new program that's being introduced to the A.R.E volunteers.
Right.
What is this program?
Well, the program is called the Community Affiliates Program, and what we've done, I'm going to show and tell.
Ooh.
We have taken what used to be called regions, are now called community affiliates, and we've sectioned the country off in this way. So starting with the West Coast, we have 8 states, including Hawaii and Alaska, and those are captained by 2 wonderful women who happen to be board members, study group aficionados, Marianne Splendor and Joy Scott. And we have, if you'll look at the map, you'll see that we have teams up in Washington State and down in California, where Joy and Marianne are located. But they are responsible for contacting and making friends with all of our study group members and members in those states. Moving eastward, we have to the top the Peaks to Plain Community Affiliate, and this is captained by Lori Panger, who's been in the work for years. She was the team captain in Denver, and she's led study group retreats and everything else you can imagine. So she's responsible for 7 states, and all of the people in these states are working hard. We have a couple in Montana, Joe and Dan Hawkins, who are trying to resurrect the retreat that used to be held there for years.
Oh, wow.
COVID derailed it.
Sure.
So they're trying to get it back. And with the help of Lori and the team, I have a feeling that we'll have that retreat in Helena or Helena, however it is pronounced, coming in 2026.
We're very good at retreating, so if you need any help.
Okay, and down in Texas area, this is called the Southwest Community Affiliate. Maureen Kelliger, who lives in the Hill Country near San Antonio, is the coordinator for these 5-state area. And we have a team in Phoenix, Arizona with John Schroeder and group there. And we're bringing back some programs because of COVID and other factors. People were not comfortable coming out. And so all of the programs dwindled. But now we're going to, with Maureen's help and a group of committed volunteers in Texas, we're going to bring back the Mo Ranch Retreat, which has been going on for over 50 years in Texas, but had to stop with COVID, and of course the members want to bring it back. So 2026, look out, we're coming. Now moving further east, Kevin Rieger, who is also a board member and is captain of the team there or coordinator in Wisconsin, he has 8 states in the Midwest called the Midwest Community Affiliate, and he will be contacting and representing them. That includes the Chicago Center. I don't know if you visited there, but they actually put on programs regularly. They're part of a Unity bookstore just outside Chicago. So that's a very wonderful region. And in this area, Ohio, we have the Torrances, life members in A.R.E. with the Columbus team, and they put on a yearly metaphysical picnic, open to all, speakers, all kinds of wonderful things happening. So we're resurrecting our events in areas and bringing them to the fore and creating some new ones. We used to have many groups and programs in Minneapolis. That went away. But Rachel Runnels and her group have signed on to sponsor a program in Minneapolis, and we're working with Chrissy and Zaire and our programming events people to make that happen. So we're nearly finished. We have a huge area here. This is a wonderful Southeast Community Affiliate. 10 states and Puerto Rico are in that area. They've been working for years doing just what the rest of the country is starting to redo, and that's programming. They have a team, a speakers team, and they train wonderful people from their midst, this 10, 11 area, to put on programs. We're hoping that we can put something on in Puerto Rico. We haven't in years, but they are working with our Puerto Rican contact person, Dolly, and I feel that we're going to have a program there in Spanish for the Spanish-speaking people of Puerto Rico.
Well, a little known fact, I was born in Puerto Rico.
I didn't know that.
And we both speak Spanish, so if you need, again, ambassadors, we can do the
we're your
show in
people.
Spanish.
Oh, well, Chrissy, I hope you're writing this down.
We could do it at the bioluminescent bay. How cool would that be?
An evening gathering at the bioluminescent bay. Oh!
That sounds wonderful.
We've got to talk after the show.
All right, we will. And the final area here is called the Northeast Community Affiliate, and it has the most states, but as you can see, many of them are tiny. They're small compared to the Midwest. So the most states are 14, which includes the District of Columbia. Not exactly a state, but 13 states and D.C. And this area is captained by a husband and wife team, Judy and Doug Knieven. And they are from the Pittsburgh area. You probably know them.
Yes.
He's our former board chair. Let me back up just a second because I realize I forgot to give the coordinators for the Southeast community. And a former board chair is a community leader here, Laura Little. Her colleague is Lisa, and Martha Loveland, who has been in the work for years. So we are well represented, and we've been working on this for nearly 3 years, trying to put this together, to roll it out to the country, having wonderful, knowledgeable people at the helm in each area, and I feel we do.
Yeah.
It's just a fantastic program. And first of all, I love how you call them community affiliates because the words make such a difference. If it's just a region, you just think of like the geography. When you think of community, you think of people coming together and joining and that kind of loving atmosphere. So I think that's fantastic.
Do you have any questions for me about this so far?
Well, yes. What was the motivation to create this?
Well, the motivation was that we knew we needed to re-inspire people in the field, and we thought, how can we do that? For years, they've been asking us to please give them information that they needed to put on these programs, to do these outreach activities. So we have compiled a resource manual for the field, which we will offer electronically and hard copy. It will be in a 3-hole punch binder. So let's say you two were in one of our states out there in one of the communities, and you decided you wanted to put on a little program, something free maybe, to see if people would come and talk about Edgar Cayce and perhaps get a study group started afterwards. So you would go to your manual, you would go through the tabs and find the section on setting up a program. And it would tell you exactly what you needed to do, step by step. It would also offer you all of the forms that you needed, because you know how it is when you have to send something in and you're not quite sure how to do it. Well, we decided to make it simple and put all the forms in for all of the activities. So in that manual, you'll find information on copyright wording. Let's say your program, you're using a handout that has quotes from the Cayce readings. Well, you want to make sure the copyright wording is on that handout that you're giving out. That's in there. Everything from soup to nuts.
Well, I like that, because then if you're involved in one community and then you move across the country, you're going to get the same thing. It's like when you travel, you can go to McDonald's and it's always going to taste the same. This is kind of the same. You're going to get the same information, the same type of atmosphere, because it's all from that same guidebook.
Right, yeah.
So you know
We
what to
tried to
expect.
standardize. You're exactly
Yes.
right, Karen. We tried to standardize it so that people would have all the same information wherever they were.
And you just slip right into it comfortably.
Yeah.
Right.
It's nice because you go from here, from Virginia, you go to Montana, and you have the same feel, you have the same information, you
Exactly.
have the same experience that you would having here in Virginia at the A.R.E.
And of course, I'm the contact person here at headquarters, so
Right.
I supply all the information. Anyone contacting me from Idaho who says, hey, I'm out here all by myself, I say, no, you're not. Contact Marianne and Joy, and let's see what we can get going here. Put them in touch with Vanna and Brandy in our study group program. Try to send out invitations and get a group going.
That's nice.
I also want to show this. This is our most recent copy of the Venture Inward magazine that all our members receive, and I want to point their attention to the National Outreach, A.R.E. Outreach page, because here you have a small copy of a semblance of the map that I showed earlier.
Right.
So any member can immediately look and see how many members are in their state. We have that on here. They can see what area that they're in, and they can see who to contact for information about that.
That's great, because if you're going to travel outside, you go to one of these states somewhere,
Yes.
you can still remain in contact. You can reach out to these volunteers who can then bring you into a group or something like that while you're out there traveling.
Or if you, say, live in Florida and you have family in California, you can say, hey, there's this great group
Right.
here. Here's the information.
Exactly.
Check it out.
Yeah.
Right, and I'm so glad you brought that up, because we have a whole group of A.R.E. members who travel pretty extensively. They go on our tours, but they also travel, and so they contact us and say, are there any groups in such and such a country? I'm going to Portugal. I'm going to here.
Right.
So once we get this program up and running and really going well, we're going to tackle the international groups, and we're going to make that be our next project.
That was going to be my next question, because we love international travel.
Have suitcase, we'll travel.
Well, some of our board members went traveling and led tours this particular year, and they contacted us to say, where are the groups, who are the key people? We will stop in and energize them while we're on the road. And we love that. The groups absolutely love to be visited by anyone, and so we're happy. We had someone who worked here, volunteered here actually as ambassadors. They drove cross-country to California. We gave them pit stops all along the way of study groups that they could sit in on, and it was a wonderful experience for everybody.
You
That's
know,
very cool.
I'm thrilled to learn about this, because I had no idea that this was in the works. And we're anyone, so we'd love to stop by.
Well, that's the best thing about this podcast. We learn so much.
We
We're like,
do,
oh.
yeah, and it's so important, because a lot of people out there may not be aware that there are these study groups and just all around groups of interest of the Edgar Cayce material across the world, right? Not just
Like-minded people you can come in,
Yes.
introduce yourself to. You feel like they're old friends right away because you have so many points of interest.
And that's great if you're new. Like, we have so many military people in this area that are constantly moving. So to go somewhere and find something that you feel at home with
Yeah.
it's a
Very
huge
important.
benefit.
Sure.
Very, very important.
Another thing I wanted to show and tell is the Congress schedule, which is coming up.
That is coming up.
Because during Congress, I am having a training session in the afternoons on the third floor of this building in the meditation room. And it's really a sharing group situation for all of the field volunteers. On Monday, we're having a youth panel. So I'll have a lot of young people there for all of our field volunteers to ask questions of. What drew you to the A.R.E? What is your interest? What brought you here? And then what platforms are you on? What do you recommend us to use in our outreach to people your age? In addition, of course, the readings did not spell out younger, older, anyone. It said, show, come and see to everyone.
Right.
And that's what we strive to do. So Monday, from 3 to 4, upstairs, we'll be working with young people and the field volunteers. On Tuesday morning, I'll be hosting a breakfast over in the Copeland Dining Room for the coordinators and people from their communities.
Nice.
So that's early, first thing, to get people started. On Wednesday afternoon, we'll have presentations upstairs from 3 to 4 from people in the field who are doing wonderful things. There's a group in Memphis, Tennessee, who have taken the physical readings and made a study group of studying and practicing how to make a castor oil pack and use
Oh.
it, how to work
That we
with
should watch.
the glycothymalin. I mean, how to use certain things. And I'm doing a free session for the yoga studio throughout the year, every other month, of demonstrating show and tell. My first one is May 24th, castor oil packs.
Okay.
And we're going to draw the name out of a hat. A lucky person will be packed in during the workshop and will experience it and then tell the workshop what it was like, the other participants.
So how much is it going to cost me to be that winner? I just want to, because I
How much you got to pay for luck?
Right.
You have to make it sticky.
Yes.
Make it sticky so that it sticks to my finger when I reach in.
When are the dates of Congress this year?
Congress starts on Sunday the 8th and runs through Friday the 13th, but it's not a bad luck day. It's a good luck day because Sharon and Chris Faisal are doing the closing ceremony, and they always incorporate music, might even be a little dancing in the aisles, you don't know.
That sounds
but
fun.
it's a wonderful, happy occasion.
Oh, that's great.
This year's Congress is going to be special. It's already really well subscribed, and we have almost a month to go.
Wonderful.
Right, yes, it's in June, by the way.
In
So-
June, thank you. And we have so many good programs, people talking. I'll just give you a hint. Laura Little is kicking it off on Monday. Corinne Cayce is next. I'm doing something on Wednesday. The board of directors are there on Thursday. And of course, Friday is our closing event. But they're wonderful. Jessica from the archives will be doing a presentation. People who used to work here coming back and doing presentations. We have tours. We have all kinds of good stuff. There's even a talent show, too. Think about it, on Wednesday night that will be in this room, and you have to sign up, and a dance party on Thursday night. But our Thursday session upstairs will feature our own staff people sharing their programs with our field volunteers. So when people go home, we want them to know what's available here. For instance, many people do not know that we have a healing prayer group that has been meeting nearly 100 years, has
Wow.
never missed a Wednesday. You can come here to the physical group on Tuesdays from 3 to 5 and receive a laying on of hands. If you so wish, you can join online the Wednesday Glad Helpers Healing Prayer Group and receive healing in that manner. But this is something that we feel everybody should know about. And guess what? The Glad Helpers are kicking off Congress every morning. They'll be here on the stage with a very short opening affirmation and meditation to set the tone, for the entire week.
Wow.
Special.
Sounds like
It's-
a special week for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you have given us so much information between the volunteer information and Congress. If someone needs to kind of revisit this information and take their time, what's the best way for them to find all of this out?
Well, the best way to find out any of the field information would be from me, and they can call me on my direct line, which is 757-457-7237. That rings at my desk.
Oh, wow.
Or they can use the 800 number, 800-333-4499, and ask for me and be connected to my line. Also, people who are fluid finger people can contact me by email, and that's all lowercase, Judith, Stevens with a V like Virginia, Stevens at edgarcayce.org.
All right. Well,
Great.
I am confident that Kevin's going to have put that on the bottom of the screen so that you can easily write it down with the right information. So-
Excellent.
And then we will have to consider the talent show, but that does assume that we have some talent to share.
that's
So
I'm guessing you might.
we'll think about that.
Getting
one.
off the stage might be the talent.
Judy, this has been wonderful. It's always a pleasure
Yes.
to be in your presence. Congratulations on the amazing work that you've been doing,
Yes.
and we really look forward to seeing what else comes out of your office.
It's
because
been a
always
pleasure,
special.
and I have to credit the ad hoc committee from the board, the key members of staff, and people in the field. We are the ones, we're the team that did this, not me.
Well,
So,
congratulations to the entire team.
Sounds great,
But
like a great team.
every team needs a good leader, so thank you for what
happy
you're
to
doing.
be here, happy to be involved.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, that does it for this episode of New Awakenings with Edgar Cayce's A.R.E. If you missed any part of this interview or any of our others, all you need to do is go to edgarcayce.org/resources. You'll find those audio files directly in there, so you can catch up at your convenience. Thanks again for joining us. We'll see you on the next episode of Edgar Cayce's New Awakenings with Edgar Cayce's A.R.E.
Bye.